What is up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Tuesday morning to you, and welcome to this devotional series, our walk through the book of Proverbs. And it is so good. The whole month was about us getting wisdom. And since it's July 19, and I know I keep saying July chapter 19, you can make fun of me all you want, but since it's July 19th, we're in Proverbs chapter 19. And you know what? I'm going to do something different today. Normally, I'll just kind of lock in on one proverb, and I just stay there and kind of unpack it a little bit. And I found 4 of them that I was like, they're so good. And there's not one of them that I want to spend a lot of time on. So I thought, well, I'm just going to pick around a little bit of all of them. And so if you want to, if you're reading along with us, pause and go read Proverbs 19 and then come back to me with when you're ready to go. But this is the first verse I want to hit on. It's verse 2. I really have been meditating on this for like 3-4 days now. Desire without knowledge is not good, and whoever makes haste with his feet misses his way. But it's that first line, desire without knowledge is not good. I think that's worth meditating on. There's a way in which you can meditate and consider your desires and then trying to figure out like, okay, well, wait a minute, what are my desires? And that's worth exploring. And then, of course, the idea, though, is that desire without knowledge is not good. And I find this to be so true. I would say that this is the definition of immaturity, to want something without really thinking through it. Well, I just want it is very childish in nature. That's why, have you ever noticed when you go to the checkout counter at Target or Trader Joe's, or wherever you shop at, they always put a few things right there at the checkout that are impulse buys. And what they're thinking is, ooh, you need a few little treats and nuggety goodness, little last minute things that you might need, and it'll impulse make you buy it. But again, desire without knowledge. Again, if you ask your kid, hey, do you want some gummy bears for breakfast? They would say, yes, of course, I desire that. I want those gummy bears. But we would know, well, do you know how many chemicals are in that gummy bear? You know how bad that is for your teeth? You know how bad that is for your health? You know what that's going to do to you long term if you keep eating gummy bears like that? It's not good, right? That's desire without knowledge. And so I just think it's worth considering, like, check your desires and then consider this before you do anything in terms of making a decision on those desires. Consider the second half of the proverb. Whoever makes haste with his feet misses his way. So what he's doing is he's connecting the idea of desire without knowledge. I want it, I'm not willing to think through it. I just know I really, really want it. It's the same thing as being hasty with your feet and missing your path. If you get too hasty with your feet, you're gonna stumble and trip. And so that's all he's saying is, like, before you make a decision, here's what I'm gonna give you a few things. Slow down, research it, think it out, ask wise people, go read, do your due diligence, get as much knowledge as you can before you go pull the trigger on that decision. So that's number 1. The next one's verse 11. I love this line. Good sense makes one slow to anger, and it is his glory to overlook an offense. When I hear that part about good sense is to be slow to anger, I think about what James said, which is one of the most profound thoughts in all of relational wisdom, which is this: is that every one of us should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. It sounds very similar. Like James had read this before. He's like, no, that idea of being slow to anger. And then the second part is this, and it is his glory to overlook an offense. I'm going to give you a challenge here. Be a person who is not easily offended. Be a person who lets stuff go quickly. If you harbor stuff, if you're a revenge person, if you're like a grudge person is an immature soul, right? Like, no, a mature person says, hey, that person offended me, but what would be better? I'm going to forgive. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to create a healthy boundary. But like just getting angry and holding a grudge and getting them back and revenge, that's petty. He goes, no, it's your glory, just an overlooking an offense. And here's why, is because once you realize God within you, God's calling on your life, what's actually important in this life, the thing that they did to offend you is really, really small. And the reason why you should be able to get over it quickly is because hopefully a wise person is a humble person. A humble person is low on ego. They let stuff go quickly. Let's keep going here. Verse number 17 was really good too. Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. I just thought, what a profound way for Solomon to look at how you take care of the poor. What he was saying was like, he goes, you know what it's like when you give to the poor? I love it. He goes, you're lending to the Lord, and he's going to pay you back. Because you helped somebody that cannot help you back. You blessed somebody that can't return the favor, right? Sometimes you give somebody a hookup knowing one day they're going to give you the hookup. That's called quid pro quo. He goes, no, true love is when you take care of people that can't ever repay you at all. And when you do that, it's the equivalent to lending money to the Lord. He's paying that thing back. Last proverb is this. It's number 22, and it says this. It says, what is desired in a man is steadfast love, and a poor man is better than a liar. Now, the second line, look, if you got to choose between having a friend that's poor or a friend that's a liar, take the poor guy, right? But the first part is this, and this is, again, I just want you to check your own soul, because funny enough, this relates all the way back to the first proverb that we read, desire without knowledge. If you want to know what you really desire in life, at the end of the day, we all desire to be loved. And so much of what we do sometimes that's even negative or bad or sinful or foolish is really just us trying to meet a legitimate need in our heart in a very illegitimate and foolish way. But the reality is that we're all driven to be loved. We all have a need to be loved, and that is driving us. And sometimes we get that love met in a very healthy way, and then sometimes we step outside of God's wisdom and we get that love and try to get it met in an unhealthy way, and that ends up backfiring on us. And so, again, let us be people who love the richness of Scripture and the wisdom that is in this stuff. It is so, so good. Church, I love you guys so much. God bless you. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.